Education. In America, there's 4 or 5 names. I think of Jonathan Cole, Columbia University, usually the name at the top of the list. We're thrilled to have him with us today. Vartan Gregorian, the Carnegie Corporation, of course, years associated, 9 years at Brown University. You made Gordon Wood University Professor,
yes,
one of our great American historians. Yeah. How do you pick a university professor?
Through hard work.
It's political, right?
No, it's scholarship, and it's great teaching. Because at Brown, unlike other universities, the two are not mutually antithetical.
When you were at Stanford, 1964, a basic French book or economics book, they looked a certain rigor. That rigor's disappearing. Where did the rigor go in American education?
Rigor is still there. It's not all applied. It's selective, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But intellectual rigor is always in our universities. Otherwise, we would not have the kind of generations we train for leadership and otherwise.
You just visited Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Do you give one commencement speech a year?
Yes.
And this was at St.
Edward's.
St. Edward's, Austin, Texas. I love this quote. Let's bring it up here from commencement. Da, 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 da. Was it good weather?
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather. America's not perfect, but it is perfectible. That's a Gregorian word, perfectible. And that is your job now. It is the work of your generation. Mine tried hard to reach that goal. It's up to you to try even harder. What do you mean by perfectible?
Well, we always talk about defects of the United States, but we never thought about the system we have, that it always has met these challenges. And I don't like cynics and other things that are rethinking, we're doing this, because they have no faith in the system. Those of us who have read Federalist Papers we know how America was formed. Through struggle, hard work, discussion, open-mindedness, but always looking at the future rather than bemoaning of the past. And therefore, I always tell people America has mistakes, America has weaknesses. I said, yes, we're not perfect, but we're perfectible. Other societies don't conceive themselves as perfectible.
Did you get through your commencement speech without using the word passion?
I did not use passion.
Thank you. It's a great exclusive. Vartan Gregorian did not use the word. It kills me. You go to these speeches and it's all this emotional stuff, and whether it's engineering, then you got to lean over the desk and learn calculus, or it's history, and you really got to learn. I'm suggesting that there's a great inflation and a little bit of rigor out there.
Yeah, there's a great deal of emotion, but sentences still have to be as great, as simple as possible. I think our language has gone through inflation. That's one of the reasons. Right. Words don't mean what they do. They obfuscate rather than deal with issues. Right. And one of the things I always talk about is clarity. And I always say political correctness may be good linguistic gimmicks, but it does not address, in my speech also I mentioned that, it does not address needs, real needs of society. Economic problems, racism, sexism, and all the problems, we have to deal with it rather than only discuss about how you can articulate those things without offending anybody.
How do you respond when economists say we need more education, the way to productivity is to look out 45 years to more education? A guy like you in the trenches of education must cringe when you hear that.
I hear that because universities are not job training programs. Universities are to educate people as citizens, as cultured human beings, because the foundation of our democracy was made, as Jefferson said, democracy needs educated citizenry. Without education, you may have good jobs, but it will not last.
If you could bring up the quote, Rex, on Iran. This is from an essay of a number of years ago, and you got so angry one day, you wrote a letter for the president to write to the people of your Iran. This is not the quote. We got a different quote, Rex. This is one from his commencement speech. We got a set of Gregorian quotes. Can you try to bring up, Rex, the quote from Iran? We're going to bring that up here. But you said to the president, you got to hear it. It's right here. President Obama, thank you. Obama could send a message. President Obama should send a comprehensive letter that will answer all the major issues on relations in general, and those are the past 30 years. Have you seen that in the last 2 years?
No, because one of the things we always think people are not worth for us to respond. I thought President should have been, either Bush or Obama, should have written twice as long a letter, lengthy a letter as Ahmadinejad. Therefore, telling what we have done for Iran, since 1835. It was first most favorite nation in trade. We gave them the first universities. We gave them the first hospitals, Americans. We protected them during World War I. We protect them during World War II. We built their army. Other than NATO, Iran got the most fancy and great weaponry. Furthermore, we are responsible for Iran's nuclear energy. In 1973, we sold Iran 18 nuclear reactors. We brought from Iran 100 nuclear engineers to study at MIT. And then we eliminated their two enemies, Taliban and Saddam Hussein. So why should we be against Iran rhetorically? I said, when we have done all of this.
How do we, in the short time that we have left, Dr. Gregorian, how do we bring Iran and its middle class back from that religious extremism, or are we on the outside looking in?
Well, religion always has been used by nationalism and ruling classes always as a weapon. The Shah used it at one time. Mossadegh used it. And then Khomeini actually was approached by secular people, said, guide us, as a sycophant act of that. So religion will be there, but religion is no impediment, in my opinion. For Iranians are most tolerant, best educated, and most pro-American people on earth.
That's what I've heard in all my interviews.
That's true.
So we just got to get there. We're out of time. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Come by again. Vartan Gregorian, the Carnegie Corporation.